Hi, I'm DeAces from Watchtower, formerly known as Brother Minnick. I want to thank all the newcomers and welcome them to the group. In fact, one of them I have known for at least 2 decades, and I want to welcome him to the group because we go way back. We used to see each other in the Kingdom Halls and congregations in Florida long ago. This is going back to the late 90s, early 2000s. So, an interesting thing happened in watching Watchtower today on Facebook. There was apparently a sister, I think she's a sister, who said that she wants all of us to come back to Jehovah. She said, I am not trying to scold anyone. In more or less words, she said, look, I'm not trying to browbeat anyone or make anyone feel bad as much as I'm concerned. And we had a lot of, in my opinion, healthy exchange. Because she basically said that we had left Jehovah because we were no longer Jehovah's Witnesses. But I think it's important for her and for witnesses who are just now leaving the faith to know that this is coming from an organization who admits that they are uninspired and not infallible. So, what I mean to say with that is that they do not have the authority to sit here and say that you have left Jehovah because you have left Jehovah's Witnesses, because Jehovah or God or whoever you want to call him or her hasn't given any demonstration that he's given them that authority. And the governing body freely admits this in Watchtower when they say that we are not inspired. So, for the new witnesses that are waking up, and even for the witnesses who are warning ex-witnesses that, we need to return to Jehovah, you can't say with any authority that we've left. And I didn't get angry at her because I'll tell you the truth. I really think that she meant well. And it meant a lot to me that she cared. It did. I try to see the good in a lot of situations. I'm not always the best at it, but I try to see the good in stuff. And I think that she was genuinely concerned because she said we need to return to Jehovah before Armageddon happens, before Armageddon comes. Now, I think it's also important to note that Armageddon, or the mountain of Megiddo, is a physical location. It's not a war. It was a figurative place where a battle was going to happen based on a real place, the mountain of Megiddo. So, I appreciate her concern. Because, see, to Jehovah's Witnesses, they really, truly believe that they are trying to save us. They think that we have lost our way. They think that we have left Jehovah when we've left the Jehovah's Witnesses. Even though the governing body has no authority to say whether we have or we haven't, because they're uninspired. So, that was just a thought for the day that I had. Watching Watchtower is doing really well. We've got over 2,000 members now. I want to say welcome to the family. We were your brothers and sisters in the congregation and in the faith. And we are still your brothers and sisters outside of the faith. So I hope that this encourages some, because I know that there's a lot of witnesses who are just now waking up, who have an incredible amount of guilt, who are losing sleep, who are going through depression, who are feeling suicidal, and some have committed suicide because they truly believe in their heart that when they left the Jehovah's Witnesses, they left Jehovah. In other words, they left the God of all authority and his ordained organization that has only been asserted by men, and that they maybe even in essence have sinned against the Holy Spirit. So I hope that this comforts some of you ex-witnesses, and to all of you active witnesses who may be in the group, you are welcome in the group. The only thing that I encourage is the same rule that I try to apply to myself, which sometimes I'm not the best at yet. Let's try to respectfully hear each other's points, even agreeing to disagree. And that is one thing that I do want to talk about in watching Watchtower lately. I want all of us. I'm not your parent. I'm not your elder. I can't tell you what to do. But I would like to encourage us to all try to be respectful, whether we're Jehovah's Witnesses, whether we're atheists, whether we are occultists, pantheists, Christians, and agnostics. Let's try to all continue respecting each other, because I think here, and today's a great example of that, that when we're able to do this, we are able to arrive at a refined state of mind. The free discussion where people feel comfortable to state how they feel, whether we think it's completely ridiculous or not, creates a very good exchange of discussion. And dare I quote the Bible, iron sharpens iron. So I hope everyone's having a good night. I hope you guys enjoyed this Watching Watchtower update, and I hope that many of you newcomers and newly awakened Jehovah's Witnesses try to deal with your feelings of fear and guilt for being curious, for being objective. Don't let active Jehovah's Witnesses tell you to return to Jehovah. They even have a pamphlet or a brochure that says return to Jehovah. But again, this is not anything or any kind of statement that they can make with any kind of authority, because by their own admission, they are uninspired and not infallible, and they can err in doctrinal matters. And they certainly have many times in the past. Take the doctrine of 1914, the generation that will not pass away. First off, Jesus was talking about Jerusalem. He never said anything about a 1914 generation, and he never applied that statement to any future generation. But even if he did, which he didn't, but even if he did, the generation of 1914, the generation that was not supposed to pass away, did pass away. So, again, Jehovah's Witnesses, you're reminded that your governing body is not at all inspired. So with no authority, can they tell someone, or you, and if you're humble, you'll acknowledge that. But they cannot make any kind of claim of authority that you need to return to Jehovah. Your relationship and your quest for God, for Jesus, for the Bible, for enlightenment, whatever you want to call it, is strictly between you and the higher power. No man can dictate that for you. That is a decision that you will have to come to for yourself. For yourself. Without letting uninspired men who err in doctrinal matters lead you in any direction. Because they lead themselves in many wrong directions more often than not. I hope this encouraged a few.
I hold my heart, I dream of you. I see your face, I feel it too. Such a